Hello friends, a big warm welcome to your very own channel, Ammu&You, where I am ever ready with lovely stories to narrate to you. Today the story that I have for you is slightly a different one. A horror story? Can we call it? The name of the story is A Face in the Dark, written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond, as many of us know, is an Indian author of British descent. He is a prolific writer whose works are popular with adults and children alike. In this story, A Face in the Dark, he relates a thrilling incident set among the picturesque hills around Simla. Most of his stories are located around that place, Simla. Ruskin Bond's fascination with the paranormal finds expression in this macabre tale. Mr. Oliver, a school teacher, is on his way back to school late one night when he meets a strange young boy. The encounter fills him with terror and he takes to his heels only to discover that there is no escape for him. Ruskin Bond makes skillful use of all the elements of a horror story: fear, surprise, suspense, and mystery to explore humanity's collective fascination with the dark. So let us see, what does he say in this story? A Face in the Dark. Mr. Oliver, an Anglo-Indian teacher, was returning to his school late one night on the outskirts of the hill station of Simla. From before Kipling's time, the school had been run on English public school lines, and the boys, most of them from wealthy Indian families, wore blazers, caps and ties. Life magazine, in a feature on India, had once called it the Eton of the East. Mr. Oliver had been teaching in the school for several years now. The Simla Bazaar, with its cinemas and restaurants, was about 3 miles from the school, and Mr. Oliver, a bachelor, usually strolled into the town in the evening, returning after dark when he would take a shortcut through the pine forest. When there was a strong wind, the pine trees made sad, eerie sounds that kept most people to the main road. But Mr. Oliver was not a nervous or imaginative man. He carried a torch, and its gleam, the batteries were running down, moved fitfully down the narrow forest path. When its flickering light fell in the figure of a boy who was sitting alone on a rock, Mr. Oliver stopped. Boys were not supposed to be out after dark. "What are you doing out here, boy?" asked Mr. Oliver sharply, moving closer so that he could recognize the miscreant. But even as he approached the boy, Mr. Oliver sensed that something was wrong. The boy appeared to be crying. His head hung down. He held his face in his hands, and his body shook convulsively. It was a strange, soundless weeping, and Mr. Oliver felt distinctly uneasy. "Well, what's the matter?" he asked, his anger giving way to concern. "What are you crying for?" The boy would not answer or look up. His body continued to be racked with silent sobbing. "Come on, boy, you shouldn't be out here at this hour. Tell me the trouble. Look up, now." The boy looked up. He took his hands from his face and looked up at his teacher. The light from Mr. Oliver's torch fell on the boy's face. If you could call it a face. It had no eyes, ears, nose, or mouth. It was just a round, smooth head with a school cap on top of it. And that's where the story should end. But for Mr. Oliver, it did not end here. The torch fell from his trembling hand. He turned and scrambled down the path, running blindly through the trees and calling for help. "Help! Help!" He was still running towards the school buildings when he saw a lantern swinging in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of the path, he saw someone coming. Mr. Oliver was relieved to find some help approaching. He stumbled up to the watchman, gasping for breath. "What is it, Sahib?" asked the watchman. "Has there been an accident? Why are you running?" "I saw something horrible. A boy weeping in the forest, and he had no face." "No face, Sahib? No eyes, nose, mouth, nothing. Just a cap on his empty head." "Do you mean it was like this, Sahib?" asked the watchman, and raised the lamp to his own face. The watchman had no eyes, no ears, no features at all, not even an eyebrow. And that's when the wind blew the lamp out. And what happened to Mr. Oliver? Ruskin Bond does not write about it. What do you think would have happened to him? What would have happened to you if you were Mr. Oliver? Would love to hear from you, your comments. Little children, think about it. And imagine that boy with only the cap and the watchman with the lantern swinging in the dark, having no face. If you were there to see them, how would you react? Scream, faint, run away? What? Let me know. And you adult friends, you can also do the same. You can carry this story forward with your own imagination and send me your short story. I would love to read it, and I could talk about it in my next story too. Thank you for listening to this story, friends. Thank you for being with me all through my journey of storytelling, which I simply love. Please share the videos, subscribe to the link, and ask your friends to like, share, and subscribe so that we take our channel to new heights. I want to reach out with my stories to as many people that I can. Can you help me do that? I think you can. Thank you so much for everything. Stay blessed, stay good, and wait for me till I come again. Bye-bye.